This might be an unpopular opinion, but it shouldn't be. People who are single, looking to be happily married, should stop listening to other single people in their same situation. You wouldn't go to your broke Uncle Joe for investing advice. So why would you go to your friend who hates men for dating advice? The people who are the most miserable are always the loudest. And as a woman who has been happily married for over 11 years now, I see a lot of single people making mistakes. Now, I won't pretend to understand what the dating landscape is like right now because I found my person when I was 20 years old and I never had to get on an app, not against any of those things. So I understand we're in a different world. However, the principle of knowing who to look for, knowing what to look for, knowing what makes a happy marriage, these are the types of things that people who are happily married are going to be able to advise you on. Now, in the Christian world, I know some people may be thinking, well, Paul was a single and he gave advice to husbands and wives. Two things I'll say to that. One, he was giving direction to the church and establishing how the church should operate, husbands and wives and how they should operate. That's one thing. And the second thing I'll say is there will always be exceptions to the rule. There will always be a single person who's really wise with advice or relationships, whether or not they have that or not. There are always going to be exceptions to the rule, but if you're going to have wisdom, conventional wisdom relies on what is often true, not the exception. And so if you want to be happily married, stop listening to people who are miserable. And if I can just speak to the ladies, stop listening to other women who hate men. If you are a single, straight woman, you got to get that man-hating rhetoric out of your mind, because then what are you attracted to? Would you prefer a woman? Like, we need to learn to appreciate what God has placed inside of the men in our lives. We have to learn to appreciate the masculine. Now, this is not a message that you're hearing often. In fact, women who appreciate the masculine, some are called pick-me's. But the women who are happily married appreciate what the men bring to the table that's uniquely different than themselves. If you want to be happily married, start seeking out happy relationships. A lot of us have not seen healthy marriages, and so we stop believing it's possible. But seek and you'll find. If you start looking for it, you'll find it.